2 in algebra 2, and it is Tuesday. I'm going to put the date on here. Tuesday, December 9th now. And for your do now, I gave you 4 different systems of equations. The first 2 are level 1, second 2 are level 2. So we're going to review how we solve these by elimination. So for a level 1 equation, what do I do to begin solving this system? Add the equations together. It's as simple as that. So I'm just going to draw a line under here, turn it into a big addition problem. And what's going to happen when I add these together?
The x's cancel out.
Yeah, 3x plus negative 3x is 0. They are canceled. We eliminated the x's. Okay, now what?
You add the y's.
So we have 1y plus negative 2y.
Is it negative y?
Negative, yes, negative y. Or negative 1y. We can just write negative y. And that's equal to negative 12 plus 6 is
Negative 18.
Negative 18. Now, if it was negative 12 plus negative 6, that would be right. But it's positive 6, so let's double check that. Negative 12 plus 6. We should get negative 6 there. Negative 6. So are we done? Have we solved for y? You would think.
No, we gotta plug it in.
Well, almost. So at this step, we have negative y is negative 6. But I don't want negative y, I want y.
We gotta divide it by 1.
Yes. Divide by negative 1 or multiply by negative 1 to get rid of that negative. We want the positive y. So if it helps, we could have written negative 1y there. And those negative 1's cancel. And now y is by itself equals, what does that negative 6 become?
6.
6, positive 6. Good. So now I have y equals positive 6. So Trina, you were about to tell me the next step. What do I do next? Plug it in. So if it were me doing this, I would probably use the top equation because y is already by itself. But we can use either one. We should get the same answer. I'm going to grab a different color here. So whenever I plug it in, I'm going to write 3x plus, instead of y, what am I writing?
6.
6. Good. Positive 6. That's my y. And after that, it's equal to 6 or negative 12? Negative 12. Good. We're using the top equation, so we want to be careful and make sure we're copying correct equation the whole time. And now I have something that I can solve. So 3x plus 6 equals negative 12. I'm trying to get x by itself. What's a good first step? Minus 6. Good. Now, Natalie, we're going to get the answer you gave me earlier on this one. It's negative 12 minus 6.
6. Negative 6.
Neither one. 18, but not just negative 18. Good. Do not ever be ashamed to have the type stuff in, guys. I do it too. Negative 12 minus 6. Negative 18. Double check your stuff. So we got negative 18 equals, what comes down? 3. Just 3. What am I missing?
The X.
The X. So 3x equals negative 18. Now what do I do? Divide 3 on both sides. Good. And those 3's cancel, which give us x equals. I got negative 6. You guys getting the same thing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Negative 6. So when we have an x value and a y value, we write those as a coordinate, x and then y. So what number comes first?
The X.
The x, negative 6. The y, positive 6. And that is our answer. Good. Good, good, good. Any questions about that one? Okay, we'll jump over to number 2 then. And how are we going to start this problem?
Cross out the one.
Cross out the y's. I can do that because really what we're doing, we're adding them together, the whole equations. Negative y plus y is 0. They cancel. Let's add everything else. What is negative 3x plus x? Negative 2x. Good. Okay. And over here I have 1 plus 3 is 4. 4. Good, good. Okay, so I have negative 2x equals 4. Where do I go from here?
Divide by negative 2.
Beautiful. Divide by negative 2. And that cancels. I've got my x by itself. And it equals what?
Negative 2.
Good. Negative 2. Perfect. X equals negative 2. I'm not done yet. Let's solve for y. How can I solve for y? Thank you.
You guys on which equation they use the negative 2,
Sure, yeah.
the bottom.
Use the bottom equation. Okay, so if we use the bottom equation, I have x plus y equals 3. Where am I putting this negative 2?
The X.
Where the x is. So instead of x plus y, I'll do negative 2 plus y equals 3. Okay, so we need to solve for y now. Can I do that?
Add 2 on both sides.
Yes, add 2 on both sides. And y equals 5. Good. Good. Okay, y equals 5. So our coordinate, very last step, what will that coordinate be?
Negative 2. And then 5.
Perfect. Negative 2, 5. In parentheses with the comma circle. Good, good, good. Okay, so those were the level 1 systems of equations. And all we had to do for level 1 is just add the equations together. Once we solved for one variable, we plug it into either equation to find the other variable. So those are the simplest level. Moving on to level 2, what we notice is if I just start by adding my equations together, nothing's going to cancel out. Up here it was nice because, like in number 1, my x's canceled. My y's canceled in number 2. In number 3, I can't just add together and cancel anything. What will we have to do different to get something to cancel in these problems? Distribute. We got to find a number that we can multiply everything in one of the equations so that when I add them, something will cancel. So are we going to cancel our x's or our y's here?
X's, yeah.
Probably my x's. Can anybody tell me why x makes a little more sense here?
Because you can do 2 times 5 next.
Yes, I can do 2 times 5, and then I'll have 10x, and negative 10x will cancel positive 10x. So, first things first, let's write the number we're going to multiply, put parentheses around that whole equation, and let's rewrite it. We're going to distribute to each one. And we just said 2 times 5x gives us 10x. 2 times, 5y is going to be the same thing, plus 10y equals, what's 2 times 10?
20.
20. Okay, so I'm just going to cross that one out so I don't accidentally use it. Now we can do the same thing we did for the first 2 problems. Let's just add these 2 equations together. So negative 10x plus 10x cancels. How about negative 6y plus 10y?
4y.
Yes, 4y. Bring down my equals. Negative 4 plus 20.
16.
16. Good. Okay. Almost there. We almost have y. What do I do now?
Divide by 4.
Yes, divide by 4. Both sides. Those cancel and we get y equals 4. Good. Okay, so I've got my y value. From here, we're doing the exact same thing as level 1. Let's plug this in and solve for x. Either equation will work. Which one do we want to use?
I did the bottom one.
Yeah, that's the one I would pick. I would do the one with smaller and positive numbers. So let's copy down 5x plus, instead of 5y, what am I writing?
5.
4.
Yeah, 5, and then I'll put parentheses. And a 4 goes there instead of y. Okay. The rest of the problem equals 10. So now, what should I do?
Multiply.
Yeah, multiply my 5 and my 4. 5 times 4 is 20. Just going to bring everything else down. 5x is 10. And now I've got 5x plus 20 equals 10.
Divide by, no, add 20.
Add 20.
Or, I mean, minus.
Yes, minus 20. Good. So minus 20 on both sides. Those 20s will cancel. Bring down the 5x equals, what is 10 minus 20? Negative 10. Good. Okay, last step. Get x by itself. What am I doing here?
Now you divide by 5.
Good, now you divide by 5. Excellent. Okay, and x equals
Negative 2.
negative 2. Nice. Okay, so my coordinate, what will that be?
Negative 2, 4.
Good, negative 2, 4. Negative 2 and 4. Perfect. Okay, good job, guys. All right, one more for review. Now we've got 6x minus y equals negative 11. And 5x plus 3y equals negative 13. Now, which variable looks like it's going to be easier to cancel?
I did the y.
I would do the y's too. We've got a negative y and a positive 3y. What's a good number to multiply? 1. So if I multiply it by 1, it won't change any of the numbers. If I have like 3 times 1, that's 3. Or 6 times 1, that's still 6. Negative 1 times 1, still negative 1.
I meant 3.
Yeah, 3. Perfect.
I mean, I'm looking at it.
You're okay. Okay, so we'll multiply by 3. Distribute that to all 3 terms. And so, what is 3 times 6x? 18x, good. 3 times negative y. Good, negative 3y equals negative 11 times 3. Good, negative 33. Okay, I'm going to ignore that top equation for a minute. Do the math together. And I can see my y's will cancel. That was the whole point of multiplying by 3. So, when I add my x's, what do I get? Yes, I think, yeah, you're right. 18 plus 5 is 23, so 23x equals negative 33 plus negative 13.
Negative 46.
Good, negative 46. And let's get x by itself. What do we do now? Good, divide. Divide by 23 on both sides. We get x equals
Negative 2.
good, negative 2. Okay. Now again, we can use either equation to plug back into. Which one are you guys thinking?
The bottom.
Bottom one? Okay, let's do the bottom one. So I have x equals negative 2. So where am I going to put that negative 2?
Right behind where the X goes.
Yeah, right where the x goes. So next to 5. So 5 instead of x, negative 2. Rest of the equation plus 3y equals negative 13. I go from here.
Multiply.
Let's multiply 5 and negative 2. That makes negative 10. Good. Bring everything down. And let's solve for y. Now what?
Add 10.
Add 10. Get rid of that. Add 10. Both sides. Cancel. So I'll bring down 3y equals negative 13 plus 10 is
Negative 3.
good. Negative 3. And very last step.
Divide by 3.
Yes, divide by 3. And our answer for y is,
Negative 1.
yes, negative 1. Perfect. Okay, so I have my x, I have my y, my coordinate. What's that going to be?
-2.
Perfect. -2, -1. Very, very good. Okay. That's our do now. A little review from yesterday. How do we feel about that at this point? Feel okay? Give me like a thumbs up if you're like, I could ace a test on this today. Give me a thumb in the middle if you're like, I need maybe a little more practice. Down if you're lost. Okay, middle, some in the middle, some up. Middle. Okay, happy with that. I'm good with that. We will do more practice, 100%. But today, I'm going to take you to level 3 with these equations. So, what I would like you to do is, let's get out that worksheet packet from yesterday, where the front looks like this. Right on here. This was our day 1 worksheet. And we worked on the first page.
You're still missing one box.
Okay, thank you. The second page we did. And second page, keeps going. Okay, so we'll go to where it says 4 at the bottom. And the top will say solve the system of equations using elimination. Level 3, multiply both equations. So, let me pause this recording for just a moment. Check on those boxes. So, now we are looking at level 3, and we're going to take our notebooks out. And if you are trying to keep your notebook organized, if you just got a notebook today, and you're wanting to rewrite the notes from yesterday, I believe we had 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we did 4 pages of notes yesterday. So if you are trying to make your notebook line up with mine, you'll start on the 5th page for today's notes. So I'm just going to title this Day 2 Notes. Still in Unit 1 of Algebra 2. Algebra 2. We are going to title this Elimination. In parentheses, I will write multiply both equations. So, when we are using elimination, we're always trying to choose one variable to cancel out. For our notes today, I'm going to copy down that number 16 and use an example to kind of guide us through. So I'm going to write here 16. And we have 3x plus 11y equals -2. And then 2x minus 10y equals -36. So whenever we are doing elimination where multiplying just one equation is not going to help us, there's actually an easy trick to make this really simple. I'm going to focus on the numbers in front of my variables or my coefficients. And let's start by looking at the x's. So for my x's, I have a 3 and I have a 2, and they're both positive. So what we can do is we can just take the numbers that were already given to us, but flip-flop them. So what I mean by that is let's take the 2 from the bottom equation and multiply it to the top. Let's take the 3 from the top equation and multiply the bottom.
But don't you have to make one of them negative
You do. You do. Why do you have to do that?
to get one of the sides opposite?
Absolutely. You're right. So she just pointed out something very important. If I multiply 3 by 2, I get 6. 2 by 3, I get 6. But when I add 6 plus 6, that just gives me 12. I want to get 0. So we also need to decide which one we want to make negative. I'll tell you, it doesn't matter which one we make negative. Both will work. Just pick whichever one you want. If it were me, I would probably do the bottom one just because we already have 2 negatives. And when you multiply by a negative, it's going to make those positive. So we're going to multiply the opposite numbers, but make one negative. Okay. And we do the same thing where we distribute everything. So starting with the top equation, we have 2 times 3x, and that gives me, we said 6x. 2 times 11y, what would that give me? Good, 22y. Bring over my equal, and 2 times negative 2. Now, if it was 2 plus negative 2, it would be 0, but we're multiplying. So 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. Good. Okay, so first equation. Get that. Oh, let's do the bottom one. Negative 3. We be very, very careful. Remember, we're multiplying by a negative. Negative 3 times 2x is negative 6x. Negative 3 times negative 10y. Say again, what is it? 30. That's okay, 30y. It's going to be positive. Negative times a negative makes a positive. So plus 30y equals negative 3 times negative 36. Yes, perfect, perfect. Positive 108. Okay. So we have just done that. We distributed the 2 into the top equation, the negative 3 in the bottom. And now, what can I do?
Cancel 6.
Yeah, back to level 1, we're going to add the equations, and that's going to cancel out my 6x's. Good. 22y plus 30y, 52y, equals negative 4 plus 108, 104. Good. And last step. Divide by 52. Both sides. Good. Okay. So we get y equals what?
2.
2. Good. Good, good, good. Okay, so I've got my y value. How do I solve the remaining parts of the system?
Plug in.
Plug it in. We're going to plug in that y value, the 2, into either one of these equations. Which one do we want to use?
Top.
Top one. Yeah, let's do that. So I'm going to bring down the top equation. 3x plus 11 instead of y, 2 equals -2. And let's do the same thing we've been doing. It's 11 times 2.
22.
Good, 22. Everything comes down. And we just got 2 more steps.
Minus 22.
Good, minus 22. Equals, that's -2 minus 22.
Is it negative 24?
Yes, it is. Good. -24. And last step.
And then divide by 3.
Good. Divide by 3. We get x equals almost
Eight.
-8. -8. Negative divided by positive. That gives us a negative answer. So x is -8, y is +2. What's our coordinate? Yes, -8 and then 2. Very nice. Very nice. All right, now that was one where we had 2 positive numbers, so we did have to multiply by a negative. But if we already have 1 positive and 1 negative, we don't have to worry about multiplying by a negative. We can keep those signs the same. So let's look at, let's see. Find one where it's different. Let's look at number 18. Number 18. We'll copy that problem down. Number 18 is 12x plus 4y equals 32. And -5x minus 11y equals -4.
Did 11 at the top and 4 at the bottom.
Absolutely, we can do that. So we can cancel our y's this time if we want. That's a perfect way to do it. Let's take the 11, multiply the top equation, take the 4, multiply by the bottom equation. So, let's see what that does to our top equation. 12x times 11, what's that?
132.
132. So 132x. 4y times 11.
44.
Good. 44y equals 11 times 32.
352.
Good. 352. Okay. Same thing on the bottom. Distribute that 4. Okay, so I have -5x times 4.
-20.
Yes, -20x. Negative 11 times 4 should be the same number but opposite sign. Negative 44y equals negative 4 times 4.
Negative 16.
Yes, negative 16. Okay. So we've done that. So where do I go now?
Cross out the 44.
Yeah, for probably 44 wives. That's good. And what do I do with the rest?
Minus
Yeah. And so 132 plus negative 20, same thing as 132 minus 20. So that should give us what?
12.
Yes, 112x. Bring down my equal. Now 352 and minus 16.
32.
36. I got. Oh, I did it wrong. You're right. 336. 336. Good. Okay. And one last step.
Right.
Divide. Divide by 112.
It's 3.
Good. That gives us x by itself equals. Those numbers divided give us 3. Good. So I have my x value.
I use the top.
Top equation. Okay, let's do that. I'm going to rewrite the top equation, but instead of x, we'll use 3. So 12, instead of x, we'll write 3. And we'll copy down the rest. Plus 4y equals 32. Okay. Now I solve the rest.
32.
12 and 3 multiply to 36. Bring everything down. Plus 4y equals 32. What do I do?
Subtract 36.
Yes, subtract 36. Both sides. Bring down that 4y equals 32 minus 36. What is that?
Negative.
Negative 4. Beautiful. And last step.
Divide by 4.
Yeah, divide by 4. Good. Okay, so y equals
Negative 1.
negative 1. Very good. What's our coordinate?
Negative 1.
3, negative 1. Good job. Okay. So the reason I think some people end up finding the level 3 a little bit easier is because there's a little less to guess on as far as what numbers to multiply. Because you're just taking them from the equations that already exist. The only thing we need to be careful about is that whenever you multiply, you're getting different signs. We still need a plus and a minus. If not, they're not going to actually cancel. So, now that we've done 2 of these together, we did, let me write a little note on my worksheet. We did number 16 and 18. There's a bunch more on here. Before I let y'all try some on your own, does anybody want to go through another one together? Okay, I'm gonna take the silence as confidence. You guys, I'm gonna set a timer for about 15 minutes here. Be about perfect. And I want you to go through and just see how many you can finish. And during that time, please feel free to ask questions. Ask each other, ask me. I'm here to help. You're welcome to come up to my desk if you need. Just do your best. We'll go over these at the end and see how you do. Pause our recording. The timer just went off, and we did that page 4 of that worksheet. I'm gonna go through and just ask you guys yes or no. Did you finish that problem? So number 17, thumbs up, thumbs down. Did you do it or not? 17. Okay, good. 17. We'll look at 18. We did together. 19. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay. That's all right. Some of us did 19. How about 20? Okay, we got there. 21. Some of us. Okay. 22. 23. Yeah, come on. That's awesome. Anybody go farther than that?
I'm done with 24.
That's crazy. Okay. Speedy. That's awesome. All right, so let's go through, see what we're getting. The way I'm going to do this is because I'm not quite sure where my answer key is. I'm going to ask you guys what numbers you decided to multiply by, and then I'm going to speed run through the answer and how to get to it. As I go through, stop me as soon as something does not make sense, or as soon as you're unsure why I did something. So for number 17, wow, that won't focus. Okay, for number 17, did y'all cancel the X's or the Y's?
I did the Y's.
The Y's. Okay, so what did you multiply? 9 and 11.
Both positive.
Both positive. Good. Good. Okay, so you distribute that 9. 9 times negative 6x. I believe that's negative 54x.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, just check me. Tell me if I do something different. 9 times negative 11 is that negative 99y. Okay. 9 and negative 27. That I don't know off the top of my head. What'd you get for
I
that?
got negative 243.
Negative 243. That sounds right. Oh, let me double check. I'm sure it's right. 9, 27. Yes, 243. Okay. So now we do 11 times the bottom equation. So 11 times negative 9x. Negative 99x plus 99y equals 36 times 11. 36 times 11. 396. Okay. So far, so good? Okay, good. So, add these together. My y's should cancel. So I'll cross them off. And when we add the rest, we have negative 54x plus negative 99x. And get negative 153x. Good numbers on this one. Equals negative 243 plus 396. I got positive 153. So x is negative 1. Okay, cool. And the way we did that, we just divide by negative 153. If I divide the same number by itself, but one's negative, we get negative 1. Okay. So to find our y, I bet you guys did the bottom equation, am I right? Bottom or top?
Yeah, I did the bottom.
Bottom. Okay, so I'm going to do the bottom as well. Negative 9 instead of x, negative 1 plus 9y equals 36. Okay, so I plugged it in. Those two negatives cancel for -9 and -1. So now I have 9 plus 9y equals 36. Subtract that 9. Y equals 36 minus 9. 27 is y3. I got y equals 3.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, good. Good. Okay, so you should have gotten -1, 3 for number 17. Awesome. Awesome. Any questions about that one? Let's look at 19. So, for me, I would probably cancel my y's because the numbers are smaller. Did anybody cancel x instead?
Yeah, I started getting a decimal.
You did? Okay, well, how about for fun? Let's do the x's. What did you multiply both equations by?
11 for the first one,
Okay, so 11.
and -6 for the second one.
Okay, so if I already have a negative and a positive, if I multiply -6 times 11, I get -66x. If I multiply -6 times 11, I'm going to get the same thing, -66x. Do you know what the issue there is?
No.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you. -66x. I'm going to go with what you just did, the -6.
I knew it was wrong, so I was like, well, I'm getting a
That's
decimal.
okay. That's okay. So let's talk about why this won't work. Before I rewrite the rest of the equation, I'm just going to look at the x's. When I add -66x plus -66x, it's not going to cancel, is it? I need the signs to be opposite. So instead of multiplying by -6, what would I multiply instead? +6. Yeah, that way we keep that positive 66. So when I add them, they go to 0. So let's finish that out. That would change a lot of things. Now I have plus 55y up top equals 31 times 11, 341. Then on the bottom, 6 times -2y is -12y. 6 times -21, -126. So I bet you got similar numbers for that bottom equation, but did you get positive numbers instead?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. So you'll get a totally different answer just because of that sign. It's tricky. Signs.
So I could have done it this way?
Yes, you can
Okay.
do it with the X's or the Y's. We just have to be careful to make sure they actually do cancel.
I got all this. I just did. I had positive
Yeah.
12y, positive 126.
Right. So this will change everything because now I have 55y plus -12y. So that should give us 43y equals 341 minus 126 and 215. Okay, then I would divide by 43. And did everyone else that did this problem, did you get y equals 5 for number 19?
Yeah.
Good. So see, we're getting the same answer, just in a different order. So y equals 5.
I use 2 and 5.
Say that again.
I use 2 and 5.
So you canceled your y's first. Yeah, perfectly good way to do it. Lots of different methods. As long as you're following the correct math rules, you're going to get the right answer. So from here, we would just plug that y in. Either equation works. Do the bottom one, maybe? Okay, I've got 11x minus 2 times 5 equals negative 21. That's my y. Negative 10. Bring everything down. I'll add 10. Let's see if we're getting the same answer for x. C equals negative 11. Do you guys get x equals negative 1?
Yeah.
Good. Awesome. Okay. Perfect. Okay, before I give you guys a break here, is there any of the numbers on this page that gave you a little bit of extra trouble that maybe we want to see worked out? Just that one. Okay. Well, it is 2:07, and we're gonna take a little break. So I'm gonna give you guys about 15 minutes here, which that would be 2:22. So come back at 2:22. We will start back up again. You're welcome to stay. You're welcome to leave the room, bathroom, drink, whatever you need. We'll be back in about 15 minutes. All right, we are back from our break, and I'm going to flip my page in my notebook, start one more page here, and we're going to talk about one more method of solving systems of equations. And the reason we need this other method is because sometimes we don't have nice equations that line up where x is first and then y and then a number without x or y. And when that happens, we can't just stack them up and add them together. So I'm going to title this page, again, Algebra 2, we're still in Unit 1. And this is called substitution. S-U-B-S-T-I-T-U-T-I-O-N. Substitution. I'm just going to rewrite. This is page 2. R. 2 notes continued. So substitution is going to be using a method that sounds, or it works exactly how it sounds. I always think of like a substitute teacher. A substitute teacher is somebody who comes in the place of the teacher that is normally there. So it's kind of the same concept where basically we are going to replace something in order to fill a spot. And this is where we're going to have some equations where we are in different forms. I'm going to show you an example of that. Let's do this. Here is an example of a system where we would use substitution. My first equation is going to be negative 2x plus 4y equals negative 12. My second equation is going to start with y equals, and it's x minus 4. Y equals x minus 4. Now, when we're using the substitution method, I'm going to show you what we do here. Then I'll have you guys kind of help me along the way. So first, I'm going to notice that I already have an equation where y is solved for. Not solved for in the sense that I know the number for y, but I know that y is equal to x minus 4. So x minus 4 is the same thing as y. If I look at my top equation, I have an x and I have a y. And it's going to be impossible to solve for either one unless I can change something so that I only have x's or I only have y's. So here's what we're going to do. I know that y equals x minus 4. So that means anything that has a y can be replaced by this value x minus 4 or substituted. So in my equation next to the 4, there's a y. So what if I rewrote this top equation, but instead of writing negative 2x plus 4y equals negative 12, instead I could write negative 2x plus 4 times x minus 4 equals negative 12. We're going to substitute the y with this x minus 4. So let's start with that. Negative 2x plus 4, and then we don't want to write y. Instead, we're going to use that value, x minus 4. Now we just bring down the rest, equals negative 12. So essentially what we're doing is we are substituting that value that's equal to y into the other equation, replacing y, and now I have an equation where I only have x. This is something we can solve. So now that I have x minus 4 here instead of y, how would I solve this equation? Distribute, yes. 4 times x, 4 times minus 4. So that gives me 4x, and then 4 times negative 4. That's a negative 16, good. And let's just bring everything down from there. Still have negative 2x plus 4x minus 16 equals, bring down negative 12. I'm going to draw a line here. So now I have negative 2x plus 4x minus 16 equals negative 12. What would I do at this step?
Combine like terms.
Yes, combine like terms. I've got x's that I can combine. Negative 2x plus 4x. What does that give me? 2x, positive 2x. Good. Bring everything down. Still minus 16 equals negative 12. And now what?
Add 16.
Good. I have to add 16 to both sides. Get rid of our 16. Bring down 2x equals negative 12 plus 16. 4. Yeah, 4. Okay, and then last but not least, let's just get that x by itself. By 2, and x equals what?
2.
2. Good, x equals 2. So we're done with our x value. Now, technically, you could plug this into either equation, but I'm going to tell you when we're using this method, substitution, I am going to recommend that you always use the equation that starts with y equals. Because y is already by itself, so it's going to go a lot faster for you. So I have x is 2. I'll just bring this second equation down. And y equals, instead of x, we're going to use 2. Bring down the rest, minus 4. And so, what is my y?
-2.
-2. Good. And that's it, we're done. X is 2, y is -2.
So we still gotta write it.
Yes, thank you. We still gotta do it as a coordinate. Just a good habit to be in. And I almost did it wrong. My x is +2. My y is -2. Here we go. Good. So that is a different method. This is substitution. Substitution. So let's see another one. Now we're gonna have, let's try 2x plus 4y equals 8. And our second equation is going to be y equals 3x minus 12. So if we look at that first problem, we could write out some steps for this one, if that would help. Basically, the first thing that we did is we figured out what value is equal to y. What is after y equals? So we'll start by identifying that. So what is after y equals? Y equals, yeah, 3x minus 12. Now 4 is next to y, and we do want to keep that in mind. So y equals circle value. Whatever that value is, this is where we substitute. We're going to get that top equation so that there's no more y, because this has only x's. And what's that going to look like? What should I write at this next step?
Tell them all how to write it down.
Yeah, how do you write it out when I plug that in?
X plus 4.
Hmm? Good.
The Y value
Good. The y value, 3x minus 12
equal 8.
equals 8. Very good. So step 1, identify that y value. Step 2, replace y. Substituting, where you're plugging in. Step 1, let's find y value. Step 2 was plug it in or replace it in your equation. And what do we do now? Distribute. So something you're going to get used to doing is every single time you plug something in, your next step is always going to be distribute. Plug in, then distribute. So step 3, distribute. Now you might not be somebody that needs to write these steps out. If not, disregard them. But if it's something that helps, do it. So let's distribute. 4 times 3x is good, 12x. 4 times -12 is -48. Good. So did our distribution. What comes down?
On my phone.
Yeah, we are gonna combine like terms next. One step ahead of me. Let me bring this stuff down first. So 2x plus comes down, equals 8 comes down. And you're exactly right. Combine like terms is the next step. That's well. Step 4, 5. Like terms. Okay, so what like terms do I have here? 2x and 12x. That makes what? 14x. Excellent. 14x. I'll bring the rest down. It's 48 equals 8. Okay, and I'm going to say step 5 is just finish solving the equation. So what should I do now?
Eight on both sides. Oh, yeah. Add 48 on both.
Yes, add 48. Good catch. 48 and that added 8 is
56.
56. Yeah, that sounds right. So 14x equals 56. Last step will be good. Divide by 14.
It's 4.
And it is 4. Okay, so we have our x value. That was step 5. And step 6, how do I find y? Leg it in. Do it to the second equation. Now you can do it to the first, but I'm going to tell you the second is always going to be a little easier. So plug x equals that value into y equals equation. So my y equals equation is y equals 3x minus 12. And our x is 4. And we're going to have something interesting happen on our y. Yeah, it's going to be 0. 3 times 4 is 12. And 12 minus 12, 0. So we get y equals 0. Okay. So x is 4, y is 0. Very last step, coordinate is 4, 4, 0. Good. Okay, very good. Awesome. Okay. That's pretty good, guys. So, I gave you a bunch of stuff to write there. I'm gonna give you just another couple seconds here, and I'm gonna flip my page and then give you a couple to try on your own. And as you try those on your own, I'm gonna work on making you guys your exit ticket for today. That's gonna be it. Now, if we finish early ever and you are still feeling like you're not confident in what we did for the day, you are always welcome to stay, any of you. If you feel good though, it's a good day then. So, perfect. Okay, so these are some try on your own.
1. So y equals 5x plus 21 and negative 7x plus 6y equals 11. And the second one to try, let's see, y equals negative 3x minus 2, 7x plus 3y equals 6. Okay. So I will give you guys basically as much time as you need. I have the answers ready, so as soon as you finish, just put your hand up and I want to come and check your work. In the meantime, I'm going to make your exit ticket for today, and I'm happy to give that to you as soon as you finish these. Make sure you feel good about it. So we have these two that you guys just tried on your own, and I'll throw the answers up here real quick. We'll run through them fast. We used substitution for both of these. My y value is 5x plus 21. Here is the y in the second equation. So we're just going to plug that in. We're going to substitute it. So I'm going to rewrite that second equation. Negative 7x plus 6 instead of y, 5x plus 21 equals 11. And now we distribute. 6 times 5x is 30x plus 6 times 21. Let's see. 126. Okay, bring everything down equals 11. Negative 7x plus 30x. And now we combine like terms. It's negative 7x plus 30 gives us 23x. Bring down plus 126 equals 11. And now we continue to solve. Minus 126. Minus 126. Get 23x equals, let's see, 11 minus 126 is negative 115. So we just divide that by 23 on both sides. And we get x equals negative 5. And all of you guys got that right. So that is good. Next step is now we need to solve for y. So we'll go back to our y equals equation and just plug in this x value. Y equals 5 times x plus 21. X is negative 5. 21. So 5 times negative 5 is negative 25. Bring down plus 21. Bring down y equals. And when I add negative 25 plus 21, we get y equals negative 4. So our coordinate is negative 5, negative 4. Okay, so now we'll look at number 2. Same process. We have y equals, and our y value is negative 3x minus 2. That is going to go into the y of our other equation. So 7x plus 3 instead of y, negative 3x minus 2 equals negative 6. And again, we distribute. 3 times negative 3x is negative 9x. 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. Bring it all down. 7x minus 9x minus 6 equals -6. And let's combine our like terms. 7x minus 9x gives us -2x. And down minus 6 equals -6. Add 6 to both sides. -2x equals 0. And yes, you can have a 0 there. I know that it looks like these will cancel, but we want to keep the 0 because there's an equal sign here. I don't want to have -2x equals and then nothing. We're going to put that 0 there so we have something to work with. To get x by itself, we'll divide by -2. And x equals 0. Wonderful. So now let's go back to our y equals. Solve for y. Y equals -3 instead of x. We use the 0 we just found. Bring down the rest. -2. And -3 times 0 is 0. So cancels out. Or you could bring down the 0. -2 comes down. And 0 minus 2 is just -2. So y equals -2. And our coordinate is 0, -2. Okay, so very nice, all of you. We got those right. So that being said, here is your exit ticket. For day 2, you are going to solve the systems. I gave you 2 of them by elimination or substitution, depending on the types of equations. So for number 1, I have a y equals equation and an xy starting equation. So we're going to use substitution for that one. For number 2, I have -6x plus 5y equals -12. 3x plus y equals 6. These are in the same form, all lined up. We're going to use elimination for that one. So once you complete this exit ticket, you are free to go. Of course, this is not due until Friday, so if you need more time, that is no big deal. Turn it in the turn-in tray, and I will have these graded for you tomorrow. That's it.